Hey, it's James from Wakefield Electrical, and on today's video we're doing a fuse board changeover. So we can't do too much talking in this video as we've got this wood chipper behind us, it's going to be quite loud. Just going to dash straight into this. Here's the board that's getting swapped over. So as you can see, there's no RCD protection on this, it's just the individual MCBs that stops the fire. But what we're going to be doing is installing a new board that's got this RCD protection, which will basically stop you getting electrocuted. So we'll be fitting this down some fuse board and then populating it with these breakers. So let's get this cover whipped off and we'll explain what's going on. So there's the cover off. So what we're working with, so it comes with a little bag with your bus bar to connect your RCD to your breakers, to power out your breakers. A little cover to stop you getting electrocuted. And then you get a bit of grommet strip there. So I don't use that, it's a bit too hard, it just falls out. So we use different grommet strips, that's the only bad thing about this board, so we'll just throw him down there. So then we'll get this set up then, so shift these to one side. So you shift them over, the buzz bar sits in there, and then your MCBs clip in. So we'll get this set up then. So that's them in order, then we'll just get these clips into here. So what I like to do is start from the highest to the lowest. So we'll start with 40, and we'll go 32, have a look, and we'll go 20, 20. Open them up, and we'll go 6, 4, 5. So it's a 5 and 5 way. So there's 5 on this RCD, 5 on that, and we'll just do this side. So we'll go 32. Let's have a look. 16, 6, 6, 6. So there we go, that's all set up nicely. So what we'll do is get the buzz bar in next. So this is the bus bar. So what this does is just connect the RCD to your on the side of the breakers. When you turn the breakers on, obviously the power runs through here, up, out and into your circuit. So what I do is just offer this up, so it goes into that one for your RCD and then your 5 breakers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we'll do, get his grips on like this. Grips on like this, and then we'll just bend back and forward and it should just snap. So give that a wiggle. There we go. So just wiggle him off and that's all perfectly cut to length. Then what I do is just offer him up, and what you want to do is aim for the top of the breaker, just so it doesn't come this side of the C-clamp. I'll show you that later. And then what we're going to do is just get him in there, tighten him up here, tighten him up there, get him level, and then tighten all these up. So let's get this tightened up now. So that's him tightened up. If you notice, what I've done is just left a little gap on the above. So what that does is just allow the cover to fit on afterwards. So if you didn't leave a gap, you won't be able to slide this cover on afterwards. So what we're going to do is just line it over about 2mm past the copper, 2mm past this copper, chop it, and then we can install it. So there we go, give that a little chop. So I've lost my normal snips, I'm using these big croppers. It's making things a little harder, but and then that just slots in like that. So you want to aim your copper into that little groove, and it should just push down then. There we go. Gotta make sure there's no copper hanging out on the ends, and that's it. Look at that top job. It's getting a bit green at the moment. We're just slowly bringing these branches through, so being a bit noisy, but we're picking when we film. Right then, so we'll do the same to this side. So we'll just offer him up, get him bent like I said with the grips, get him in and get this buzz bar covering, and then that'll be that side set up. Right, that's that set up now. So we've got that in, obviously they're chipping away. Hopefully you can hear me. Right, what we'll do is just undo these 3, and then we're going to take these gubbins out. So there's 2 screws at the side and all this should just pop out. That's those screws out, so that should just pop out nicely. You've got to be careful not to lose these, otherwise you're going to be a bit screwed. There we go, that's them 2 out. So you want to take care of them because you don't get replacements really. There we go, chipping away. Look at that. Flipping it a bit loud. So what we're going to do next is just take this cover off and then have a look inside, if you can hear me. I think it's half time with them now, so we've done half a full tree. Anyway, let's get back into this. We've got the cover off, so what we're going to do is assign these to the new breaker positions. So wherever they went, they're down here. So what we're going to do is write this list out, and then we're going to assign the old breakers to the new positions. So if we assign something to 40, that B40, what we'll do is just tally that up number 1, because this corresponds to number 1 here. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 to 10. So that's kind of how we're going to tally this up. So that's all labelled up now. So as you can see, number 1 shower is going to be that one. So when we take this apart, we'll just grab that cable and bang that in position 1 on the new fuse board. So this will be the new layout. So what we're going to do is just disconnect this. We're going to isolate it. We're going to do some safe isolation. Then we're going to disconnect all these cables out and then get this new fuse board shell on here. Yeah, it's a bit loud. Here we go, alarm's going off. Right, that's that disconnected now. So we've got all the cables and they're all labelled up, as you can see. So they're all tallied up, ready to go in the new fuse board's order. So we'll get this prepped now. So what I'll do, just we're going to come through the back, into the back of the fuse board, we'll knock these knockouts and then put some grommet strip on. So we'll get this prepped and then we'll get it mounted nice and easy. Well, that running, so I've got that in now. So I've lost my normal CK cutters. I'm using these Nipex, and absolute trash. So they're good for cutting like big cables. So they've cut through it like butter, but you got to chop a bit of tape or do whatever. It's a bit crap. Right then, let's get this fuse board mounted. Right, that's the board mounted. So what we're going to do next is get all the earths and neutrals in. So like we said, for circuit number 1, the neutral is going to bang in number 1 here. Circuit number 6 is going to bang in number here. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the neutrals. Obviously 1 to 10 for the earths. And then as far as the MCBs, we'll get the gubbins back in, so that gear tray back in, and then we'll bring in the line conductors into the MCBs. So that's what we're doing next. Obviously your main earths and your bondings are going to go in here. So you see that earth, that's your main earth. And then you got your little bondings here. So let's crack at it. So that's all the earths and neutrals in. So we had a bit of a nightmare trying to get these bondings in, because there was the 2 earth bondings for gas and water, the main bonding, so the main earth, and then they had some supplementary bonding. I didn't want to disconnect those, as I don't know where they go in, so I'd rather keep them installed, just so whatever the earth in, they're still going to be earthed. But obviously you haven't got terminals for them, so they've had to double up there, and we've had to bang it in number 10. So you got to do what you got to do. So next we'll get the gubbins in, so we'll get the gear tray in with all the MCBs, and then we'll just plug these in, get them tightened up, get these 2 main tails in, and then we should be ready to power this fuse board up. And that'll do. We've got all those cables in, we've got all those MCBs, all the lines in. Now we're ready just to power it up and get ready to turn it on. So what we're going to do is flick the isolation switch in here. That'll power up these 2 cables. Then we'll flick the main switch on RCDs, check them RCD test buttons are working, and then get everything powered up. So that's the isolator on. So we'll let that's on. Turn the RCDs on. No power. Right. Yeah, so we turn on the power and we won't get in a neutral there basically. So it turns out this cable is quite loose in the actual existing isolator. So it's going to give him a tighten up, and that should resolve the problem. Yep, so that did the trick. So as you can see, the RCD is tripping fine now. We've got 230 volts from line to neutral and line to earth, so everything's the correct voltage is coming in. So just moving on to a bit of testing. So what we're doing now is just testing the end to end. So I'm going to disconnect the lines, the neutrals and the earth, and you better test from this point here all the way around to make sure it comes back, and you want to make sure you get a decent read. So I've got time to talk about testing in this video, otherwise the video will just be really long. So if you want to know more about testing, click this little card above my head. So what we'll probably do is just show you it all looking nice at the end. So we'll get it all labelled up, get the date on, get all the little stickers that you need to stick on, and then it should be all complete. So this gives you a little idea of what we kind of come across when we test. We've got a back box here, not even fixed. And there's no grommet strip, so the cable's just going to get cut into, so I have to sort this out. Shocking. Oh, I'm having a bit of a nightmare, so I'm trying to stick my stickers on, which tells you what the labels are for the breakers. I've got to use these, which gives it a wonky cut. Or a knife. So I wish I had my little CK snips. It just cuts it perfectly and you don't have to mess about. So, oh, it's taking ages. So we're nearly there. Cover's on. Just got to get labelled up. So let's get to it. Here we go. That's all complete now. So we've got our RCD sticker, 230 volts. This next test date. So 10 years for domestic if it's not rented. And then here we go. Here's all these labels. So we've got a couple of unknown. So it was 2.5 cables. Everything powered up off the socket. So must be a cable that's capped off under the floor. So we've just left those on. And then what else we got? We've got this side as well, and a few spare on the end. So that's all nicely labelled up. I've just noticed the dates I put the wrong way around, so I've just swapped them around now. So all fun and games. It's a bit of a nightmare without my CK snips, flipping neck. I don't know. So we've got no new shout-outs this week, as Sunday was a football match, so we didn't post Sunday. So we're going to post tonight, which will be Tuesday night. So there's no new people to shout out. So if you want to shout out, basically just comment in the live chat, comment on the actual video, and then if we see you kind of crop up, your name crop up again and again, then we'll give you a shout out. So there we go, that's us done down here. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we next upload. As always, have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.